Thank you.
First tour of Australia in 34 years. What has taken you guys so long?
It's a big world. You know, we had to get around it. The simple answer is that you follow your career around the world, and you know, you get offers to do tours. In some places your career goes up, and some places they go down. We were big in Australia for the first 2 albums maybe. And don't forget, you know, we took a long break too. Came back in the millennium, and by that time I think you guys had forgotten all about us. We thought so until we came back.
Hardly. I recall that tour. I recall as a teenager in 1986 watching you on Countdown, the big music show at the time. You were singing on stage, signing autographs, Morten. Do you have any memories of that first Australian tour?
I would say it's a blur. I have memories of, and not particular ones, so little glimpses of this and that, but it was the very early days for the band and just very exciting, and it was all good, really.
I remember Australia being sort of a very exotic continent for us because it was literally the polar opposite of where we came from on the globe, and the realization that you connected with people as far away as you could get on this planet through your music was, you know, case in point of coming to Australia and realizing that we had an audience here, and I think that was a big kick in the beginning.
Take On Me just clicked over 1 billion views on YouTube. Congratulations.
Thank you.
What are your thoughts about the song that catapulted a-ha to international fame?
I still think it's a good song. It's a great song. It's the riff of Take On Me is the first thing I heard when I joined the band, Paul and Mags. Paul picked up a guitar and he sat by a keyboard and they played the riff of Take On Me, which is something Mags came up with years before that. The instant I heard that, I knew that that was going to be our sort of calling card. That would be what will start the whole thing.
There were a few versions, weren't there, Mags, before the version we all know and love?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're sort of trying to find a form for that riff and that song, but it wasn't until we actually wrote a chorus that showcased Morten's incredible range that the song became what it is today.
How important do you feel that cutting-edge video, the pencil animation video, was in terms of building up support for the song?
It's not really an instant song to people. It's more complex than that, and it takes a little while to seep into your system. That video gave it that time, so the video was pivotal for the success of the song.
Why is there still such interest, do you believe, in groups like yours and other groups from the 80s? There's a lot of 80s nostalgia going on at the moment. What was it about the music of that decade?
It was a playful period. There were a lot of different acts that were popping up, and a lot of good acts. A lot of interesting things that happened during those years, certainly in England.
It was a sort of a paradigm shift because of technology entering. You know, all of a sudden you could have 2 people in a band and they would create a whole sound by using drum machines and synthesizers, and it's a huge variety of interesting bands and artists. You know, there was more room for a sort of more pluralistic time in terms of expressions.
It's 35 years since you first hit fame and you're still playing on stages around the world, including here in Australia. Do you expect to keep playing for the next 10 or 20 years? Will you be singing Take On Me in 20 years?
20 years, that'd be...
I have no idea.
You'll be 80 then.
I have no idea.
A very young 80.
Young.
We don't even know that.
Morten, Mags, thank you both for your time.
Thank you.
Certainly.